Okay, I just got done watching Turkey, whatever, beat the U.S. 2 goals to 1. Really, it was a full Turkey team versus a versus a basically an experimental U.S. squad for all intents and purposes. Look, this is a friendly. This game doesn't mean a whole lot this doesn't really. It doesn't really mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. I think Pochettino is looking for players that are going to make up his roster for the World Cup. I think no Pulisic here, no Weston McKennie here, no Balogun here, no Pepe here. A number of players for the U.S. team were not brought in. I think Sergio Dest was called in, but I think he pulled out because of an injury. But for all intents and purposes, this was a experimental U.S. squad versus a full-blood Turkey team. And look, Turkey, for all intents and purposes, was the better team. Okay, I don't say by leaps and bounds, but they were the better team, and they earned the win. I thought Jack McGlynn, who scored the opening goal 59 seconds into the game, scores the opening goal. Fantastic goal, set up by Tillman, takes it on his left foot, puts it into the far post. Goalkeeper of Turkey, Ozer, had no prayer, had no chance in making a save, and it was a fantastic goal by Jack McGlynn, and basically got the United States started off on a good footing. And for the first 22 minutes of the game, the U.S., even though they looked pretty comfortable defensively, they looked pretty comfortable, and then about the next 10 minutes after that, Turkey really put the hammer to the United States. First of all, the goal by Güler basically was a mishap by the United States. Johnny Cardozo hits the ball. I mean, it was just a poor play by the United States, and he hits the ball right off of Glozer, and Güler hits the ball right off him, and it goes right into the corner of the goal. No chance for Freeze. Not a great goal, not a goal he's gonna sit back and tell his grandkids about, but a goal's a goal. Hits it off him, goes into the net, 1-1, and then 3 minutes later, Kareem Aktagoglu. Sorry, poor pronunciation of these names. I apologize. Gets a real good goal, puts it into the near post, puts past Freeze, 2 goals to 1. Again, a U.S. team that is probably internationally friendly doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It really doesn't, but it's still a win by Turkey. I don't really know. As long as I've been growing up, it's been called Turkey. So I'm Turkey, whatever. Okay, if any of my Turkey fans are watching, I do apologize for mispronouncing the name of your country. It's been Turkey as long as I've been growing up, but that is what it is. But they were the better team, even though if you look at the statistics, the United States had had more possession. It's like 60% to 40%. The United States had more shots, but Turkey had more shots on goal, 5-3. But we had more shots on their goal, 13. Shot taken, 13-11. But again, not anything to get upset about if you're a U.S. or Mauricio Pochettino. I thought that the U.S. played reasonably well, but they just were just not as good as Turkey. And I think Turkey was very comfortable near the end of the after they got the second goal. Now, my brother called and said it was going to be 3-1, and he was almost right. They almost got a goal in the 80th minute. But for all intents and purposes, this was a good win by Turkey, a solid win by Turkey, but from a U.S. perspective, not a bad loss to take. for all intents and purposes. For the U.S. now, they play Switzerland on Tuesday in Nashville, a game I will be in attendance for. I will be at that game. I will be sitting in the second row near the 40-yard line, or if you understand. Make a long story short, I'm going to be at that game, so I'll be able to see it. And I think last time I saw Switzerland, they were beating Mexico 2-1. So again, this is like Turkey and Switzerland are basically playing home and homes with the United States. They play Mexico on Tuesday, and the United States play Switzerland on Tuesday as well. Like I said, a game I'm going to be at in Nashville. Looking forward to it, but again, not enough to get not enough to get upset about if you're Mauricio Pochettino, but not enough to get the fan base excited as well if you're the United States. But again, we're missing several players who probably would have liked to have played in this game, who probably would have made somewhat of a difference. But again, like I said, we'll find out what goes on. The United States is preparing for the Gold Cup. They play that next weekend after these two games. Again, nothing to get upset about for the United States. Nothing to get too misty-eyed about against a good Turkey team who really played really well, in my opinion, better than the U.S. Won the game 2-1, and again, not to get upset about the United States, but not to get too excited about either. Again, please click like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and please support the channel.